Hello everyone, welcome to Please Tell Me. This is the 11th episode of the first season, except for the episode 3 never produced. I have made 10 episodes including the trailer. This episode will be the last one in the season with news topics. The next episode will be the season finale, special edition. Our first topic this week is about the unicorn. Unicorns are hard to find in nature. Well, there are a couple of them in the business section. Normally, if a private health startup company valued over $1 billion is a unicorn company. One of the largest unicorn companies in the world right now is from China. Not surprisingly, their name is ByteDance, BYTE. You may not be very familiar with this name, but you should have heard one of their products in North America, TikTok. According to reports this week, ByteDance 2020 first quarter revenue was about 4.6 billion US dollar. They own about one quarter of the entire Chinese internet advertising market. Alibaba is trading in the New York State market with a market cap of about 600 billion. It takes about one third of the market. We all know that TikTok is very popular in both mainland China and the US. Today, I'm going to introduce another core product ByteDance built from 2012 called Toutiao, or translated in English, today's headlines. It's a news app. By analyzing the features of contents and users' interaction, the app will automatically create a tailored news feed to each user with an algorithm. The user's interactions are about how fast you browse the news, how you wiped left and right, up and down, if you finish reading and such. So the more you use the app, the more the app will learn about you to send more tailored contents to your taste. This is not new. Many years ago, airplane companies used an old trick to test how much people can afford the tickets. So the tickets showed the different prices while searching by different people at different locations and time. Later, internet companies took the spirit and built a business, especially after artificial intelligence took off. User experience learning seemed to have become a mandatory for many applications. So now most applications are built to learn how to accommodate user better. It was reported some app may even use the front camera to track the eyeball movement to determine the user preferences. Sounds creepy, huh? If news feeds should be tailored to this level has been a long-term debate since the technology appeared. In the US, how to present the content is very controversial. For websites like Facebook, Google, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, all contents are delivered to end users on purpose after a series of algorithms. All of these companies are essentially advertisement companies relying on the number of customers. So we have been receiving news and content we are mostly interested to spend more time along with advertisements, which inevitably created a more biased and polarized country. If you have listened to our prior episodes, our show has the opinion that the internet does not change anything. It only changes the way the world presents to us. Prior to the artificial intelligence time, the country was divided to a degree. Of course, everyone was actively seeking the news they like, but people still had some means to learn other news, even by accident. Today, all contents you have access to are especially tailored to add more grounds to your opinion. It's those internet companies that make news a very challenging job for traditional media today, as it doesn't have the flexibility to display different news through different channels. You cannot have Fox White, Fox Black, Fox Latino, or Fox California Asian. It has only one channel, Fox News, with one voice. So such traditional media has to be relatively objective in order to take a stand, while the internet news platform stays neutral but takes several stands in front of different people. The TV news becomes fake news to a lot of people and probably more and more people. All those problems were created by us, not by machines. We are behind the trends. This week, you may be surprised to find how many companies have released some statements to support the Black Lives Matter movement. Facebook, Apple, Walmart, PetSmart, and so on. I'm not sure if they really mean what they say, but what they say is definitely a great PR opportunity, which meets the expectations of majorities. In another word, we are going through an artificial intelligence screening process by ourselves without a collective consciousness. One question I always ask myself is, will the world be better? The answer is simple: no, because it has never been better before. It's the best time and the worst time. However, it's no doubt a big time. Apple, Microsoft, and Amazon are valued well above 1 trillion US dollar. The ByteDance is valued over 1 trillion without even going public. Fortunes are being created at an insane speed with the help of technologists. Technologies do not necessarily make the world a better or worse place. In China, there is an old saying called the frog in the whale, which means the frog on the bottom of a whale can only interpret the sky as the shape of a whale. It's square if the whale is square, it's circular if the whale is circular. Technologies are building a whale for each of us. No matter how great the ByteDance is, if you are not talented enough to join the company or rich enough to invest in the company, you are not part of the big time. There is another Chinese big time company which you can invest through stock options, PDD. The full name is Pinduoduo, an online shopping platform headquartered in Shanghai, China. Stock currently trading at a historical high with a total market cap of $105 billion. Well, the company was only founded in 2015. You may not have a good understanding about how big 105 billion is. In retail, Target is about 60 billion and Costco is about 130 billion. And both companies have hundreds of stores after years of operations. In the US, there are basically two types of retail shopping: Costco model and the Walmart model. Walmart is a great example of all-inclusive shopping experiments. Sorry, I invented this word. So, because you have most of the milk options in the market to fit whatever needs regarding milk. This model offers you a lot of options and flexibilities, but you may have to lose some efficiency to navigate through. The Costco model is different. I call it an exclusive model. It only offers you a few options, normally 2 to 3 in each category, and they only have so many categories. What they offer to you is a highly selective and quantity product option, so you do not have a lot of choices to make and flexibilities, but you do enjoy efficiencies. Amazon online shopping is somewhere in between. It has tons of selections. With the technology, it can help you to pick the best fit in terms of your budget preferences and others' reviews. Well, PDD is one step further down the road from Amazon. It has a lot of options, the internet age artificial intelligence, but offers another level of human interactions. Can you imagine one day you are shopping online, then a small window pops up? Do you want to share this to your friends to get a discount? Okay, it sounds simple. Then the next level is, do you want to have friends together to make it a group buy so it can be cheaper? Or if you want to play some games to get an extra 2% off. Anyway, besides paying money, you can also choose to pay attention as part of the transaction. After being founded in 2015, it reached 300 million users in 2018 before going public in the same year. The company seemed not very confident initially, so it was mainly targeting rural markets as people living in rural China have less demanding schedules. Of course, it used tons of subsidies and marketing to maintain the revenue. As of today, it has not been able to make a single penny profit. This is absolutely a big time. People like PDD can get to 100 billion market cap in 5 years when Amazon used 15 years. Not everyone is happy though. Many merchants get together to boycott PDD as it has interfered with the distribution channels they have built for years. It's the universal problem to all channels distributors. When the channel was small, the channel worked for you. After it got big, to the opposite, you started to work for the channel. They charge a small percentage of commission and then ask for a bigger and bigger cut. Having the channel controlled, either Amazon and PDD has unlimited power to negotiate with merchants. PDD has not stopped here. With the interactive model, it's way further down the road to dominate not only the merchant but also the customers, which is a quite gray area. No other online shopping company have asked the customers to spend so much time on their app. I doubt PDD has collected more data from customers than merchants. Every time it probes the bottom line of customers and put value to your attention. It knows how much money your attention costs and more importantly, how we behave in shopping. I was shocked when I watched the first season of The Westworld. Can humans really be coded? Why not? PDD may already have something. This week, as you may be aware, the COVID second wave is coming. Several states in the US have reported record high confirmed cases. It's also a turbulent week in Beijing. For a city with 20 million population, it has been quiet for a couple weeks. The government has closed cinemas, stadiums, shopping malls, and so on. Well, several COVID cases were confirmed from a farmer's market, Xinfadi, in the southern part of the city. As of Sunday, there are more than 200 cases confirmed in about a week time. At least 46 cases were related to this farmer's market. I went to the market a couple of years ago. This farmer's market is not the kind Americans normally see in the city plaza on Sunday mornings. It's huge. Founded in 1988, the market itself is about 200 acres with 1,000 people employed. More than 4,000 merchants have stores in the market. The market treats about 18,000 tons of vegetables, 3,000 pigs, 150 cows, 1,500 tons of seafood in a day. In 2019, the total trading was about 20 billion US dollar. It provides about 70% of food for a megacity. On June 13th, it was completely closed because of the COVID. I have never seen a large farmers market in the US. Most of the time, people buy from a supermarket like Walmart or Costco for fresh food. Large farmers market in China still have a lot of customers. First, people need cheap and fresh food day to day. The secondary distributor have to buy first before selling at a smaller community level farmers market. Secondly, for the restaurant, the real Chinese food is absolutely not only an orange chicken. It's quite complex, so you may hardly find any supply chain system to handle the complexity. A lot of times, the local restaurant has to take care of supplies by themselves. However, this farmers market has been controversial as it's in a quite good location, even not designed to be this way in 1988. Because of the busy market, the area fell behind other areas in Beijing when others are working towards technology to attract big-time business like dance or PDD. In 2016, Beijing relocated a clothing market close to Beijing Zoo. The market was the largest in northern China with over 3 million square feet. The main consideration was to adjust the business structure to have more profitable high-tech jobs and reduce the moving population and probably crimes. This is such a big time that no government can afford to fall behind. Significant changes in business model and the structure have to happen. The clothing and the vegetable wholesale used to be appealing businesses, became problems. So did all the people involved. behind the $1 trillion big time, there are always some people left behind. The person used to sell 10,000 pounds of pork daily in the farmer's market can just not go to TikTok and start coding. That person has to go somewhere else to continue selling pork. The big time train is coming, loud and clear. You can either get on the train to celebrate or to be run over. Our last topic this week is for education. In 2004, a young lady named Chen Chunxiu in Shandong province, China, did not receive her admission letter from the dream school, so she chose to work. In 2020, by accident, she found out she was actually admitted by the college back to 2004 and graduated in 2007. So what happened? Back to 2004, another lady took over Miss Chen's identity and admission letter, enrolled into the college, and graduated. The university responded quickly to revoke the diploma of the imposter lady. Well, Mr. Chen repealed that the diploma was supposed to belong to her. Revoking it means revoking her opportunity to go to school, so she requested to return to school. The university turned her down for the reason no prior example. This is not a single incident. According to the news report, there are at least 30 different college admission imposter cases in the last 20 years. And could more not be reported, as there is actually no way to verify if one individual was admitted to a university or not. This is absolutely a very terrible case. Use others' identity and admission to go to college never deserves to. In the US, I'm coming back to states. A constitutional amendment regarding civil rights and affirmative action called California Assembly Constitutional Amendment Number 5, ACA 5, was recently passed at California State Assembly in June 10th. Basically, it allows the state to consider race, sex, color, ethnicity, or national origin in the operation of public employment, public education, or public contracting. It's further down the road of affirmative action. The Chinese incident is a crime. The ACA 5 is just one step ahead to stop those qualified people to get considered at first place. While applying for those public opportunities, someone could be fundamentally disadvantaged because of the race, sex, or others. Yes, there are some equality problems right now, but the ACA-5 is a typical solution by creating one new problem to eliminate one old problem. You can imagine what will happen next. More problems will be created eventually. Down the road of equality, the ACA 5 did confuse me by what the standards really are while considering public education, public employment, and public contracting. In the race, for example, Asian, should Koreans, Japanese, Chinese be considered equally or more favorable to Chinese for the population? If yes, by how much? What will happen to those equally qualified Koreans and Japanese Americans? Will less qualified Chinese Americans be enrolled into California state universities? How does university reconcile differences in freshmen? In another word, why only race, sex, ethnicity, or national origin be considered? Why body weight cannot be considered, or how much hair one individual has? Can an overweight and bald person sue the state for discriminations? I really would like to interview the imposter lady. I want to know how it feels when she took over others' identities to be someone and possibly ruin others' entire life in such despicable way. I may never have the chance, but I can turn the TV on to see how the ACA 5 goes and see how those people justify their positions. Well, at least there is one thing good in this big-time background. The college is still worth something in both China and the United States. For now. Thanks for listening to Please Tell Me. I will see you in the season finale next week.